Jets, 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 Jets. Here we have the new Todd Haley run Jets after their really bad campaign last year that landed them the 4th overall pick. They were the 4th worst team in the league despite the talent they have and the explosive players they have. So we see here Alex Smith, 92 overall, X Factor QB. He is definitely living up to his hype that maybe in real life he didn't really have. Where in real life he was probably a consistent 80-something, right? He was a good quarterback, struggled with injuries, whereas in my franchise, he is just as good as Rodgers. And he has made the playoffs. They've been a top team before, but they've struggled the past couple. So like 2 years ago, they had the 8th overall pick. Last year, they had the 4th overall pick. So they have Clinton Portis they acquired last year, who's the best running back in the league. They acquired him from Denver last year. And I thought they were going to have an explosive running attack, which they did, but it did not turn into wins. They have Andre Brown, Brian Calhoun, but then you also look at wide receiver. Like last year, they drafted Percy Harvin, who's a superstar 76 overall receiver. They did sign Kobe Roby from the Jaguars. They have David Clowney, Derek Hagan, Bird. But Harvin, Smith, and even Mercedes Lewis, they drafted Jacob Tammy. Let's see, when did they get Tammy? It was... I don't remember. I don't know why... Maybe I signed him. Maybe Tammy went somewhere else. They signed Jacob Tammy. And they also drafted Aaron Hernandez, who should be higher than a 57 overall. Even though he did horrible things, he was a solid tight end for the Patriots. Their weak link here is on their O-line, as you can see, with Levi Brown being the best at left tackle. Then there's Gibson, Dadish, Asamoah, and Hills. So some offensive line help is definitely needed. Asamoah was drafted this year with the second round pick. Charles Brown, who is the backup left tackle, was also drafted. So they're going to need some better players there on the O-line. We'll see if they ever get that. Then for their defense, they drafted Ndamukong Suh with the 4th overall pick in this year's draft after the 2 quarterbacks. Definitely a solid pick there for the Jets. Scheme fit, he's going to be fantastic for them in a division that's very tough. Matthias Kiwanuka and Olshansky on the edge. And then, of course, Jason Jones is the other defensive tackle. We see Rocky McIntosh from the Cleveland Browns going over to the Jets. I believe it's Kirk Morrison. Kirk Morrison. He was a 3rd-round pick in 2005. He's been a solid middle linebacker for them. There's Gerald Hayes, 75. We see defensive backs like Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, an 81 superstar dev. He was a 1st-round pick in 2008. Then there's Nate Clements, who they signed from the Kansas City Chiefs to be the veteran. As you can see, they had Wade and Wilson, both 71, 72 overall. Now they move 9 points up with Clements with an 81. So definitely needed when going up against Brady. We see on their safeties, there's Kerry Rhodes, who was pretty good. And I don't know why he lost his dev trade, but maybe he wasn't as good as I thought he was. And then Darren Sharper, the veteran safety. He's like 34 years old, but the Jets are going to take the chance on the veteran with talent to give some veteran presence to their defense. Then, of course, Ryan Pleckmeyer, the punter, and Josh Scobie, the kicker. So let me know what you think. The Jets have all the talent. They have an explosive team, but they struggled last year to win games. So we will see, can Todd Haley turn this Jets team around with all the talent that you see? And let me know if you think they're talented enough. Maybe I think they're more talented than they are. You might look at me and say, this team sucks. So feel free to tell me if this team sucks or what you think their record is going to be. They could be a 9-win team, but then again, they are in a very difficult division. So we'll just have to see how this year pans out.